Yo, what's up guys, The4review.com. My name's Slav.
Steve.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Brad.
And today we review Dead Space 3. Dead Space is, the biggest thing Dead Space is known for is that it's a horror game. What game can you relate to Dead Space?
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, that's actually a really good gameplay. Like it's horror except it's more gun packed. It's
more action.
Yeah,
More action. A little scarier.
Yeah. No button mashing for cutscenes or something.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it all.
Yeah, definitely a plus. Definitely a plus.
Let's just start with the story, guys. I mean, Dead Space 3 is a sequel to 3 games to Dead Space. Brad, you all played all 3.
Dead Space 3 is going to be taking place right after the events of the second one a few months later. You're playing as Isaac again. Ellie's actually left, you hooked up with her, so they say, but then she left to actually try and stop this whole thing, and you just want it all to go away, even though inside your mind you have the blueprint to either create, destroy any of the markers. Alright, so what happens is, all the EarthGov gets taken out by the unitologist. You're recruited because Ellie's gone to a planet, they think they found a way to destroy the marker, and they need your help because you're the only one who can really do it. So, perfect choice, of course.
Yes.
And you go out to Dead
Turn it off.
Space.
You gotta save us.
That was pretty nice. You go out to Dead Space. Okay, guys. How does the game look visually? I mean, from all 3 of them. I mean, let's do it.
Visually, I mean, it definitely picks up graphics. I mean, it's improved since the first one, but it's nothing groundbreaking or phenomenal. But it is a nice looking game. It just has some of the graphics are a little, like the hair graphics is the only really complaint I have. They're a little muddled.
Yeah, I must admit I did notice that too. So, but other than that, did the job great.
I have no complaints with graphics, I liked them.
The graphics are good for some scenes, like when you float in space. It's beautiful.
Yes. Majestic.
Yes. Yeah, like when you float in space, like wow, it's majestic.
It's
like,
full of stars.
There's something like and then when you walk through the snow, you got like the sunrise, everything's orange, good.
Snow.
Oh yeah, the snow was good.
Yeah, but if you actually look at it, it's not really impressive. It really isn't. It's just like
impressed.
It just has, no.
That snow stops at the one scene and it gets all sunny out.
Yeah,
that giant complex. That was
pretty.
It's got impressive scenes, and see that's the problem with a game. If you play a game and you say, oh look, that's impressive scenes, that means everything else is impressive, and you get, you know what I mean? When you play a game and everything's impressive, that's when you know it's got good graphics.
That rock looks amazing.
Right? No, you wouldn't notice it because that's what I'm saying. like Uncharted, the whole time playing the whole time, like dude, this game looks awesome. But when you play a game, and say, oh, this part looks awesome. That's saying that the other parts don't look that good.
Well, we gotta understand, we're comparing these games to PlayStation exclusive games, which can have phenomenal graphics, and then a game that has to also be on the 360.
Okay.
It gets held back.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That is true.
I have no comment about that.
Yeah, but I'm not saying it's bad. Don't get me wrong. It's good. It's good, but don't expect like a Killzone game style, Killzone or Uncharted
Graphics.
All right, let's go to gameplay and how it works.
Yes.
Gameplay. I feel the aiming is very fluent. It's nice. It's not choppy. You don't feel like you have any lag or anything like that. I like, the third person over the shoulder view. The laser sighting, always nice. That's always been a favorite of mine when they do shooters like that.
Yeah, it's honestly, if you played the first or the second Dead Space, you're gonna feel right at home playing this. It's like the same thing, and I do believe they either added, I don't know if it was in the second one or not, but you can change the crosshair from like centered, like old school shooter style, or back to the normal laser thing, which I personally like.
I like that they added enemies that actually shoot back at you. When this first happened in the game, I was blown away because I was like, never been shot in a game, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, and I was like, oh wait, I actually have to shoot back now. So that was actually a really hot concept they added, just how they throw it at you right in the beginning.
Yeah.
Put you on your toes,
Another thing they added into gameplay, which I don't think any of us noticed right away, was you can roll from the beginning of the game.
Rolling combat.
I think we probably all discovered it at the same point of the game.
Yeah,
I think
and it's actually it throws it in your face. It's like, do this, and you're like, why would you tell me that from the beginning?
Yeah, from the beginning.
This is amazing.
Yeah, once you start rolling, it's just like it's really neat. So you guys take the controllers and like the feel of it is I think the feel of the game is great.
Absolutely,
Very fluid. There may be 1 or 2 points where kind of the walking, you might be running into stuff if you're walking backwards, but besides that, it's like
it's a good game. Let's just break down to one of my least favorite sections, the likes of the game.
Weapon customization. Phenomenal. Very cool stuff.
I remember when I was first playing the game, I was like breezing through the story. I was like, oh, I'm gonna beat this game so fast, and I suddenly realized with weapon customization, I was like, oh, man, I got stuck in this one chapter for like 3 hours just messing around with the guns.
Yeah, weapon customizations. All the ammo is the same for all your guns.
Very nice.
Yes.
No longer you have to worry about, do I have my flamer fuel? Do I have, pulse rifle rounds? Do I have everything on the side just in case I want to use that gun? You don't have to worry about that.
The suits they're all, whenever you switch to one back and forth, all of the upgrades that you've done they're all universal. They don't stay on the same suit, or to the different suits. They transfer. That was really nice. You didn't have to buy a better grade suit to get better like storage and stuff. It happened when you upgraded.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't want to say this like the suits. You get like a lot of different suits, but you realize it's just nothing changes. It's just the visual looks.
Well, there is the environmental suits which you had to have at some point.
Yeah. Some points you have to have the suits.
Which we'll talk about that in the dislikes. Another thing I liked about the game was Dead Space 3. Dead Space, they have 3 things like that really make the game stand out from all the other games. The weapon build, you can build your own weapons. That's one thing we mentioned. They have a thing called stasis, so you can like slow motion enemies in the game, which is awesome because there's moments where like you're running out of ammo and you just slow them down, you reload your clip, and then you keep going again and fight. And the third thing is kinesis, kinesis. Yeah,
you're able to pick up and pull objects to you with kinesis. It's very cool.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice because you can literally just pick stuff up instead of running to it, and all 3 of those things work good. They work good when you understand your stuff again.
Yeah, when we say weapon customization, it's not just I'm putting a different sight on my gun, got a silencer. No, you're building the gun from scratch. So it's like
kind of frame.
It's unique to this game. So once you figure out how it works, you're like, oh shit, you can build all this stuff.
Another thing about the game, I think looting. Steve, you want to mention that real quick?
Oh yeah, looting. Every time you kill an enemy, if you go up and do an extra stomp or put an extra couple bullets in it, they're gonna drop extra stuff. So don't feel worried about wasting ammo into an enemy. It's gonna have kind of a good effect. He's gonna spew out whatever he's carrying.
Actually, the one thing I didn't like is when you get a lot of enemies rushing at you. If you don't do that, the bodies disappear and you will not get the loot. So sometimes if you have a full auto gun, just keep spraying, just like and that way you end up with a crap ton of loot after that.
Now another thing they added for the gameplay and stuff, they said multiplayer, even though it actually is just it's a co-op play. Actually, which is really nice because it changes up the story if you do it, because you get to play as Isaac or Carver. You get to do different side missions. That was really cool. I got a chance to play that. It was actually quite fun because you can be doing something and somebody can actually be covering you, and it's not where you're kind of just left out there in the wind and nobody behind you.
And the cool thing about co-op is like a lot of co-op games is like the cutscenes aren't for co-op when you move through stuff. Not for co-op. Like for example, you get in a spaceship and a single player only one door's open up. You can say the co-op, both doors open up and you get different parts of the ship. Stuff like that. Like wow, that's pretty cool. It actually feels like everything's for co-op.
The workbenches, they have 2 separate spots to be activated. 2 different people can use them at the same time. Suit kiosks though. Only one person can go inside the suit kiosk at a time. You're gonna have to wait for the other person to do all their upgrades and everything.
Which is nice because suits don't make a real difference. So it's like stop wasting time picking your suit. Let's keep playing the game.
Yeah, and also just another thing is also with co-op when there's puzzles and challenges, you each have a section to do on a puzzle challenge. You're not just doing by yourself like analog stick or one gets right stick, one gets left stick. Don't bump each other.
So you actually got to communicate because other people can block you when you're going to do some of the puzzles. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, if you play Dead Space, the game is it's like a loot. It's like a finding game. You want to explore the game. That's one thing I got credit to. It's a game where like you want to go out to different hallways. You want to see stuff. I give credit for that. It makes the game more playable and enjoyable.
I like the fact that like the side missions. Like, you actually want to go do them because they give you a lot of stuff. So, like, it's not like, oh, side mission, crap, I gotta go do this to get 100% completion. It's like, side mission, awesome, I can't wait to get all this new stuff. So you go out and actually
get mad resources, new parts and stuff for guns. That was pretty cool.
Anything else you guys mention before we go to my favorite section of the game?
I think we should just jump right to the dislikes.
Dislikes. Since this is my first section, I think I should have the honor of saying the first dislike. There's enemies in the game that have weapons. You're an engineer, the game's based off picking up parts of weapons and using them to make better weapons. You kill the guy, he drops the gun, you walk up to it, and you think, I'm gonna pick this up and use it. And the game totally doesn't register it.
Yeah, bum.
And it's a little bit silly.
And it's kind of like, it didn't make sense. That's one thing I want to say. I'm not gonna share them all at once because I'd be greedy.
I'm gonna say, the secondary missions, the side missions, they were nice. You did get good stuff at the end. But sometimes you really had to contemplate whether or not you felt it's going to be necessary to do almost the exact same thing. At the end of them, you're always going to have to fight a slew of enemies while the elevator gets stuck because there's alien life forms in the room. Therefore, the computer or whatever shuts down the elevator and won't let it come down.
Quarantined.
Which isn't a big deal, but when you make a new gun, what are you going to do with your gun? You're going to use it right away. So if you get a new gun, and then you go to try it out and you just happen to do a side mission and the gun sucks.
You're gonna get boned.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really rough time for you. I mean, it could take multiple tries to get a feel for the gun and get it fluently going. So, you know, that's just one thing I felt.
There's two things I dislike about the game. First off, it's very repetitive. There's a lot of shit you do over and over again. For instance, you go to something and it breaks. Everything breaks in that game, and then you always have to fix it.
Yep.
This stuff gets repetitive. And two, when you play different game modes, it becomes harder because they have limitations. And where the weapons parts would lie, which is like really crucial to surviving the games, that since they had to take it away, they don't put anything to replace it. So that hard game mode becomes that much harder. It's kind of a pain in the ass because like you're running out of resources. You have no resources or parts to make the weapons, so you really gotta just scour the land. That's it.
The only complaint I have about the game was the end fight scene. Way too easy. Way too easy. It took. That child could have done yours. It's way too simplistic.
Yeah, like you felt like all the upgrades you've done the whole time weren't even like counted in this last fight. You felt like you could have just killed it.
The ending, like the other ones, was the bosses were they were pretty intense, but this one.
Okay, guys, I got the engine. Is everything
Yeah,
right?
two things I didn't like. Some of the dialogue, some of the scenes in the game, especially like really retarded. There's a teammate that tries to kill you guys, and then you shoot him in the head. I'll just have to shoot him. And one of your other friends is there, and he sees this, and then you go back to your team, you regroup, and they're like, "Where's this person at?" And you're like, "I shot him in the head because he tried to kill us." And the other guy's like, "Yeah, he tried to kill us." And everyone's like, "Well, why would you shoot him in the head?
I can't believe you do something.
Yeah, give me this. Dude, he tried to shoot us." I'm like,
There's no other way.
yeah, it's like come on, really, people. If the guy tried to kill him. It's stupid. I thought it was really. I was like what a drama.
Could've went down.
Cut giant case of self-defense.
Right.
Exactly.
Second thing is, you have the kinesis power, and when you step on these like pods, it becomes really strong. And like during the game, you can step on these like pod-looking things, and you can take limbs off of units and enemies, which is awesome. And then at the end of the game, no spoiler, you have to move this huge, massive piece of land. Like it's massive. It's not humongous, but it's a nice chunk. And you use the same power as the same
planet.
Yeah, it's part of, and you have to move, and you move it. And I'm like thinking in my head while I'm moving, I'm like, so I'm still standing in the same pod. I'm moving this big land. Why can't I just pick up all my enemies and just rip them to pieces? Just originally.
That'd be cool if you could do both hands and just rip them.
Do you want to say, Steve? Something ice cold?
Well, I don't know if it's actual fact based, but I felt it was a little odd. You know, space is cold.
Chilly.
Really cold. Your suit can withstand that really cold temperature.
Straight off cold.
You land on this planet and
Some snow.
there's snow and the suit can't handle that cold. I'm just not following. I mean, yeah, your helmet gets damaged. You needed a new suit for that, but the suit should have been able to keep your body warm. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That just something bothered me.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys have anything to dislike, let them know right now. Because people are anxious to hear how low of a score we give this game.
I think that's about it.
Alright, gentlemen, so what do you get a score? Steve?
Well, I'm personally going to give it an 8. It was a good continuation of the story. It had good graphics. The gameplay was smooth. It was nice. They added anything that they did change was for the better, pretty much. I thought they did a good job with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this game a 7 out of 10. I mean, everything they did do, they did a good job on it. But I feel like they could have improved some more. Like, I feel the graphics had good room for improvement. And when I saw the multiplayer mode at first, I was like, all right, multiplayer, it's gonna be awesome. And then you realize only co-op, which is great. The co-op mode is awesome, but I felt like they could have done some more or something else. Yeah, and one more thing, like that didn't make sense in the game was like one of the aliens getting to outer space. Should pop like melons. Everyone, if you have liquids in you and you get out no pressure, the liquid will turn into vapor instantly. So like if you have blood or anything, you turn to vapor. So how do they pop out there? Yeah.
8, 7.
I'm gonna give it a 9. Just cause I've liked all the Dead Space, the entire franchise. I've had no problems with it. It's never treated me wrong. It's been a really good friend. It's been there whenever I need it. So I liked it. That's
That's my score.
I got this game a 7. It's a good game. It's definitely better than the average game, but there's so many flaws in the game. It's repetitive. That's the first thing you notice. Second thing you notice about the game is like the story isn't really like doesn't really like. I wasn't impressed with the story. I really wasn't impressed with the story. It's too repetitive. The graphics are good, but they're not good enough. You know what I mean? I just felt like the game was just missing pieces to the puzzle. So I gotta give it a 7 out of 10. What was that? Yes, in the eye. You got that true score in your eye. That's what it is. It's hurting you.
It sucks.
The truth hurts, doesn't it?
What'd you get?
7. I mean, it's a good game. They did a good job, but it almost feels like from Dead Space 2 to Dead Space 3, they kind of like almost kind of dumbed it for more of a larger audience, easier. Then it's like.
I thought they did a better job.
So the average score is 8 out of 10. That doesn't mean just because I think it's bad, you should get it. I think it's a good game. Get this game. I recommend it. You guys recommend it?
Definitely recommend it.
I recommend getting it.
Alright guys, see you later. Have fun. We'll see you for next review.
Yeah.